Okay. So this is what we did in our last training. And in this lesson, we'll continue for more advanced things on roads. So for that purpose, what I'll do, first of all, I will go to File, Save As. I will save this project, open a new folder, we'll call it Lesson 4. And here, name the project Lesson 4 as well. And here it is. Now we have a replica of the original project. Now the name is Lesson 4. Okay, so I use File Save As, and this is the project which I'm gonna work on. First of all, I will go to Layer. So the subject here, Roads, Advanced Features. Advanced Features. And we will start by repeating the process of designing a road, which we did in the last training. So I'll do the same. I will add another road here. I will make the CL as current, and then I'll do a polyline. Let's start, let's say, from here. Go from here till here somewhere. Sorry, let me remove the object snap. Here, and end up on this road here. Okay, and this will be sort of a highway or a speedway. This one. So I will enter to the roads. Sorry. I will enter to the roads. We have the main, which is this one. We have the T1, which is this one. And I will add another one. We'll call it highway, HW. Sorry, highway. And on this road, go to horizontal alignment, go to the highway, select the polyline, enter again, apply, and I will get 1, 2, and 3 IPs, right? This is what we did, exactly the same which we did in our last session. Now, here I'll create a road, a curve of 400 meters. Okay, this is a road of 400 meters. It's too close here. Let's move the IP a little bit. Take the IP. I'll use move here. How do I move the IP? Just to remind you all, I'm going to roads, horizontal alignment. Then in the lower window, I'm pressing the move. I'm going to the IP because the command line says polygon in, polygon out, or a single point. I'm moving a single point. I'm moving this point. And he asked me from where? Said from here. Let me stretch it a little bit because it's too close here. Let me stretch it a little bit to here. Okay. And then if I will apply and apply again, I should see the movement. Let's see. Okay. Everything changed. Good. Now it's better. But now I want to also create a transition. This is the tangent curve. This is the tangent point, right? I don't need it anymore. This is the tangent curve point. And I want to create a transition curve here using a clotoid. So the transition here, the runoff would be from here to here, let's say runoff of 30 meters in. And the same runoff, same transition I will do here, 30 meters here. How do I do it? Standing on the same row of the IP, this is IP3, and entering the clotoid. So press apply, Then I should see the transition from here to here. Okay, good. So this is the transition. Starting from here, this is the tangent, this is a straight line, starting from here. And from here, we start the transition of 30 meters. This is the transition, clotoid, and then to the curve itself, right? Any questions so far? Any questions about how to create the transition? So it's a transition of 30 meters. Any questions, guys? Nothing. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to the vertical alignment. I'm pressing apply. I'm getting the existing ground level. Right, what the software did when I pressed apply here in this table, it digitized all the elevation along the road and gave me the existing ground level. And let me do my own design. Start from here, going somewhere. Sorry. Here, and end up here. I press OK, apply, and then I see I get the data, and let's do a vertical curve of a radius of, of length of 100 meters. Okay, you know what? Let me change it a little bit. I want to add another vertical IP here. So what I'll do, I'll come here. I'll do a break here at this point. Okay. Let me take the ver edit, put it here. Take this one. Okay, so I have added another vertical IP. I have to press apply. So it will be reflected in the table. Okay, excellent. And now let me add another 100 meter here as well. Oh, okay. Any question about this one? Guys, any questions? Feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. Any questions? So I understand everything is understood. So this is the profile. Now, okay, someone asked a question. Can you repeat this? Okay. Which of the one? How did what exactly to repeat? Repeat how I did the road, or how do I add the vertical curve? What is the exactly do you want me to do? Vertical alignment. Okay, vertical alignment, what I did, you know what? Let's do it from start. I will remove everything, all the data. I click X here, design, apply, and okay. This is the clear situation. When I entered here, I pressed apply, and I got the existing ground level here on the lower left, right? Which was translated into this profile. Now, I have a layer named ver edit, is where I design. I start with a regular polyline. I decided to start with the existing ground level because here I connected to some kind of a path So here I will start with the existing and end up with the existing here. So I'll start in the existing here, and let me remove the object stack. I go more or less to this point, and from here I'll go again here, and I'll press apply and apply again, and all the data from the profile, from the polyline were translated into a vertical alignment. We see the data here. This is the elevation in the beginning, and this the running station and the slope between segments. Here, I want to add a vertical curve here. So this is the second IP, right? This is 567.95, which is this one, 567.95. How do I do it? Stand on the 2t, which is the length of the curve, and change it to 100 meter, and press apply, and apply again. Now I'll get a curve of 100 meter here. Here it is. This is the curve. Right. This is the curve. But now I decided that I'm unhappy, so I want to change it a little bit. How do I do it? First of all, I will take this IP and move it to here. And when I press apply, all the data in the lower table and in the alignment will change. Okay, everything changed to here. And the second thing that I want to do is to enter into break the slope here. One grade and another grade to have less cut area here. So I'll do a break. How do I do it? In the AutoCAD, break command. I want to break the ver edit, which is this one, and I want to break it here. Good. So now I have two polylines. So I'll take this polyline and move it to where I want to break, let's say here, and take this one. I want to move it from here to here, and that's it. When I press apply, actually the software scan the ver edit layer, and take all the data from the ver edit layer and convert it into a profile. So how do I do it? It will do it in the table below. Now, since in the table below we have 100 meter length for the first IP, it remains. Now I want to enter a curve here as well. Again, 100 meter here. I hope this is clear. If not, let me know. Anyone? Do you want me to repeat it? Do you have any question about what you just saw? No questions. Anyone? This is the time. You can speak up, you can chat, whatever you want. Nothing. Okay. I close this. I'm going to the cross sections. Okay. Let me remind you what I'm doing, designing the cross sections of this road. So I'm going to cross sections. I'm pressing define sections, and I press OK. So now I got all the cross section on the table on the right. So this was the first step. First of all, to build the table. Then I'm going to get the topo data of all these sections. I press get topo, and it goes minus 20 plus 20 and give me the existing ground level. In fact, I can go now and scroll with the arrow down between the cross sections. Now I want to start designing my template of the cross sections. I'm moving this existing table into structure. This was design. So structure is the top, design is the subgrade, the earthworks level. I'm starting with the structure. And what I'll do this thing. This is a road, where is it? This is the road, right? It turns here into the left. On the left lane, I will put a sidewalk. On the right lane, I'll just do a shoulder goes into a ditch, side ditch. So how do I do it? I'll start from 0, 0, which is the ground level point. You know what? I see that I'm working with a very high resolution. Let me, so you can see my screen better, let me close and change the resolution into something which is, you can see better. Let me change this to something that other can see. I hope now the fonts are better. Okay. And let me open this project again. Okay. Now I'm going into the cross section. Yeah, now I think you'll see better everything. Okay. And let's go to road, not main. Flip to the road which I'm interested, highway HW. Okay, this is the road. So first of all, I change this to the structure. And I started by 0, 0, right? Which is the ground level. And I will start to the left lane. Left lane, I want to create a sidewalk. Now I want 2 lanes. So it will be 7.2 meter, 3.6 plus 3.6. Right? It's what I used. Or I used 3.65. What did I use? 3.65. You know what? Let's stick to it. So minus 7.3. Okay. 2 lanes and goes of a slope of 2.5%. And I'm telling the software this is the asphalt. Now I'm here, right? From here, okay, this is the closing. Let's ignore this. I want to go up by 15 cm up and do a sidewalk of 2 meters with a slope going to this point, to the drainage. So it will be 0 and 15 cm step to the sidewalk. Then, so from here, I'm going 15 cm up, I don't know, somewhere here. And from here, I want to go 2 meters. So minus 2.5 meters. And the slope will be 2.5% to the road. Here it is. I went up 15 cm. And from here, I went 2.5 meters with 2.5% to this spot, which is the drainage spot. I hope you can follow. And I want to end up here, and either here because I do land development here, or you know what? Let's tell the software if you are cutting it 1 to 4 and fill it 1 to 1, like this. Fine. Let's design now the side, right side. Right side, I'm also doing 2 lanes, so it's be 7.3. Also go by minus 2.5 because I'm taking 2.5. Okay, but here I'll continue with shoulders of 1.5 meter with same 2.5%. And close with a cut and fill of 1:1 and 1:1, like this. Okay, so unlike left, where I have sidewalk, here I'm going 2.5 meter, shoulders 7.3 meter and 1.5 meter. Any questions about what you just saw? Any question? This is the time, because I want to continue, and I know this is quite confusing, so it's very important to listen carefully and to ask questions. Anyone? Any questions? So if there are no questions, I assume everything is clear. All of you understand, okay? One second. Okay. So this is my section. Now I want to design the subgrade. How do I do it? I'm starting from here, from 0. And from here I'm going, let's say the total thickness is 50 cm. 0.5. And from here, I want to go to the left. Now, I don't want to end up after 7.3 meter, which is this spot. I want to enter 20 cm inside the sidewalk. So I'll go to the left. Instead of 7.3, I will go 7.5. 20 cm inside the sidewalk with a slope of 2.5. So I'm here somewhere. That's it. Okay, ignore the rest because the software has to close somewhere. I continued until this point. 20 cm inside. Now from here, I want to go by 1:1 to the sidewalk and end up 20 cm below the structure, the sidewalk structure, top level. It's not structure, the sidewalk top level. How do I do it? So let's calculate. Now I'm 0.5 meter below. And I want to reach 20 cm, and this is 15 cm. So if I have 0.5, I have to go. If I go 0.5, I would be in 15 cm. So I have to go 0.45. So what I'll do, minus 0.45, go 45 centimeter to the left, and go 45 centimeter up, 0.45, which is actually 100%. So this is what I did. Okay? Tell the software, from here, go 35 centimeter and up 35 centimeter. Why? Because I want it to be 20 cm below. Why 45? This is 0.5 minus 0.5, and this is 50 centimeter up. If I go 45, I will be at 15 cm plus 5 cm, totally 20 cm here. I hope you can follow. And from here, let me continue. This is 7.3 plus 2.5. This is 9, 9.8. And here I have 7.95. So if I take a calculator and tell the software, totally I have 7.3 plus 2.5, I added 9.8, minus 7.5, which is what I have here, minus 0.45, I have 185. So from here up to this point, it's 1.85. Here it is. Now you might say, you see, up to here, and from here, it opened at 1-to-1 and closed. So this was what I did. This is it. I'm happy. And from here, I'm telling the software cut 1-to-1, 1-to-1. Good. Okay, now let's see what's going to the right. To the right, I'm starting with, here it's simpler because I'm going parallel to the structure. 7.3 minus 2.5, 1.5, I'm just copying from here, it's the same. 1.5 minus 2.5, and again close at 1-to-1 to 1-to-1. Okay. Any questions about what you saw up till now? Feel free. If you want me to explain something, how did I do the calculation or anything, just let me know. This is the time to ask. Don't be shy. This is the time. I know that first time to see it in the first time, it's not easy. So please ask the question if you don't understand, cannot follow. Anyone? Either talk or either ask in the chat. Anyone? Tehila, it's okay, you can follow? Tehila Cohen, can you follow? Is it okay? No answer from Tehila. Okay, either she didn't understand or she doesn't want to reply, to respond. Okay, anyone else? Obi, Mr. Obi, could you follow what you just saw?
Yeah, definitely.
It's okay, bye. Right. Thank you. Okay, so this is my road. Now, here, I don't want to end up like this because I will have a problem here. I want to create a side ditch. How do I do it? I can do it either from this side or from this side. It's not so important. Let me do it here. Since I have only two tables which I can see together, I have to flip. I have many tables here. Let me go to the table that says right ditch. By the way, it's not so important where you put it. If I put a structure, I can put it here if I want, right ditch. So wherever you want to put it, just put it. Okay, let's put it here. Now there are a lot of parameters. I'm not gonna talk about all of them unless you have specific questions, but I will start defining my outside ditch. So the ditch is from here. Ditch from here goes, we know it's 1 by 1. So the left embankment of the ditch would be 1-to-1, and the right embankment of the ditch would be 1-to-1 as well. The bottom of the ditch would be 0.6. Now the question is, what would be the depth of the ditch? And also the question if the ditch, now we're in cut situation, so definitely I want to ditch, but if it will be filled, do I want still to do a ditch or I don't want to do natural drainage? What I'm decided to do, I want to say in cut for sure, you do a ditch at 0.5 meter depth. In fill, also do 0.5 meter. So these are the definition. Let's see. Okay, this is in cut. So the software took the cut situation. It went 0.5 meter below from here and gave me 60 cm width and one embankment, 1-to-1, second embankment, 1-to-1, and close up. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? First of all, that you know the software very well. Any question about what we see here? No. Okay. Okay. Please remind all that this is the time to ask advanced questions, because some of you know the software very well. Now, some it's new to them. So, and this lesson is to everybody. Okay, so I assume no questions. So this is the typical session. Now I'm doing the same trick that I did in the formal training. How do I project it all over? Because it's now only on section 0. The rest are still empty, right? I'm going to 0. I press cut button here. And I copy all the data into the clipboard, into the memory. I'm going to the last section, which is at 96. So the total road length is 960.15. And I paste. So this is the last section. And now I'll tell the software interpolate. Now the software will do interpolation for all the empty sections that we have. But we see the interpolation did not include the side ditch. So I want to also project the side ditch. I go to first section or last section, it's not so important. Let's go to the first section where I started. I'm going to the right ditch, which I want to project, standing on this cell. And please listen careful to the procedure. I stand here. I press right click at the mouse and the software asks, send the whole ditch to other sections. I said yes. To which section? I said all. And I press apply. Okay. That's it. If I'll go and of course I need to reinterpolate. Why to reinterpolate? Because what interpolation does, beside completing empty section, is also to rebuild existing sections. So all the sections now have side ditch on the right. Was it clear? Do I need to explain again, to repeat? Too complicated, not complicated at all. Guys, come on. Usually it's not that easy. Nancy, can you follow? Nancy, Florida. You need to explain again, Nancy. No answer from Nancy. Teila, maybe? Any questions? Any question? None. Guy, are you okay? Guy Mao?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm following.
Yeah, Guy, remind me from which company? Eshet?
Eshet, yeah. Me
Okay.
and Nelly is here as well.
Tehila is also from Keshet, the Eshet?
No.
No, okay. Another contact. Okay. All right. Let's continue. So this is the road. So if I want to see the layout, I press this button, create layout, press OK, and I'll get everything here. You see? Everything is okay. So this is the layout. And I also see the ditch. This is the bottom of the ditch here. I can see the flow direction. So if I want, I can take this flow direction. And this is the flow direction. Okay, this is what I've designed. Now, so far, it's very similar to what we saw last training. It's just that I did it more complicated. I did with, to the right, I did shoulders, and to the left, I created a sidewalk. Right, this is the sidewalk. And it's dual length, dual lane. And I want now to create a super elevation. So the subject now is super elevation. How do I super elevate? On the curve. So the transition, we know it starts somewhere here. Where is it? Here it is. This one. This is the transition, right? Let's give it also. See that down. Okay. So we see the transition. We see start from here and up here. This is the runoff, and from here we are in full curve. So 30-meter transition. So here I want to create super elevation, and from here to continue super elevation until the end of the curve here. And this is the back transition. So what I'm gonna do, roads, the cross sections are here done. Okay. I'm pressing the super elevation button, which sits here, super elevation. And the software displayed the geometry of the road. It says you have only one curve on IP1. 3 is the name of the road, IP1. Right? Just to remind you what I'm talking about. This is the IP, right? And this is the curve. So going back, super elevation. The geometry is like that. You have a left turn on IP1 with a transition of 30 meters, which start at this station or chainage, if you like. So tangent spiral, the spiral starts at 274 meters from the beginning of the road. The spiral turns to full curve to the left to radius of 400 meters at 304. The curve continues to go back to spiral at 703, and the full back from spiral to transition to tangent 756. So this is the analysis of the geometry, which the software did for us. Also, what we are looking at, we are super elevating segments -1, +1, which is the asphalt. This is what the software choose for us, but we can super elevate others as well. And I can design by myself, or I can tell the software do an automatic. So if I go to super elevation here, the software, okay, said the design speed, let's say 80 meters, the lane width is 3.65, right? And the normal slope is -2.5. And okay. Okay, the software says there's a warning. For this split, the Cloto in and Cloto out are too small. but it will still continue to calculate. It said the transition for this speed of 30 meter and 30 meter are too small. We'll deal with it. But this is the result. For minus 2.5, the transition start here, end up here at 5.05% and end up like this. That's, if I'm happy, I'm press OK. And that's it. Let's go to, where was it? At 280, let's, for example, 280. 75. You see, this is in the middle of the transition. In the middle of the transition, this is 2.3. And here I'm already completely 0.4. And I told him not to super elevate the shoulders, so the shoulders continue to fall into the side edge. 5, this is the maximum. 5, I'm in the curve. 5, 5, in the curve, still. Okay, here is coming back. That's it. Fine. I'm okay. So this is what I got. By the way, I saw something interesting. Okay, let's leave it like this. And now let's recalculate the layout. Now we're supposed to see the transition here in the design elevation, design contour. So here it is. Okay, excellent. From here, we're transiting into a full one side slope. Again here, and transition again to the left. That's it. This is how I created the super elevation. This is how I created the super elevation. Now I want to do something else. I want to also create some kind of super elevation here on the curve, but this is a very slow speed road. You know what? Let's do it in phases. Let's first of all deal with this road. And the subject now is how to change the alignment. There was a question raised by Rose from RCC, how to add an IEP. So I'll do two things here. First of all, I will increase the length of the transition from 30 to 40 meters, because you remember I had the error alert from the system. I'll do the same here, 40 and 40. And I would also add an IP, a new IP here. I would break the road going into row here, this point. Sorry, this point. And from here, go straight. So I'll change completely the alignment. So again, the thing that I'm going to discuss now is how to change the alignment. And in this case, I will change the alignment in two ways. First of all, I will increase the length of the transition. And second, I will add another IP here. We already know how to move an IP. So now I'm doing two different things. I'm adding an IP and I increase the length. Now, also something that we have to be very careful or cautious about is that now we have a full design. So unlike before, we just move the IP, or when we have the full design, we have to be very extra careful, and you'll see the steps that I need to follow. So please listen up. We are recording everything and we'll upload it. I remember we still have an open depth to all of you to upload the formal lesson. We already uploaded them to the YouTube. We will very soon share it with you. So again, what I want to do are two things now. Changing the alignment by increasing the runoff, the transition, and then add an IP here. Let's start. I'll go to the horizontal alignment. First of all, I'm changing the transition. This is easy. Changing it to 40, and this is 30. This is the first thing. If I will press apply, the system will automatically change everything accordingly. but it's not complete. You will have to see what I will have to do in addition. Generally, it's very simple. I change it to 30 and everything changed to 30. It's that easy, but you'll see that we have to do other things. For example, the super elevation now, it's still from the 30 meter. And the length of the road might change also as a reaction of this 30 meter. And another things that I want to do is to add another IP here. How do I do it? I'm going to the design coordinates. You remember that I use the design coordinates to move the coordinate of the IP when I wanted to move a little bit the road. Now I'll use the same technique, but what I'll do, I'll add another coordinate here. Listen up, pros, especially for you. The IP is here. This is the exact point that I want to use. This one. I'm using peak to create another point. The system will call it peak point 1005. Why? This is what the software wants. I can change it. I will change it later. 1005, I'm happy. And I will put it somewhere here. Or you know what, exactly here with objects now. So I have a new, for now it's not an IP. It's just that I've added a point here. Right? There's a new point here. If I press refresh, I'm supposed to see this point. Here it is. It's just a point. It's not an IP. But now I'll go to the table of the road. I will stand on free IP2. Why on free IP2? Because I want to, this new IP will come between IP1 and IP2. IP2 is the end of the road here, and IP1 is here. So I'm standing here on the table and I'm pressing enter on my keyboard. Sorry, enter again. I have a new line here. Actually, I could do it with right click, insert road, instead of doing it. I forgot. On 10.2, you don't need to do enter. You just stand here, right click on the mouse and insert road. It's something that we add on 10.2. In 2016, you don't have it. Version. Okay, I've added another road here. And I enter another IP. The name of the IP is 1005. This is the name that the software gave it. By the way, if I want to change it, I can call it, I'll come here to the point, to the editor, and change this name of the point to be free IP 122. This is the name of the IP. It's a new IP. And refresh. For now, it's just a point, right? It's not IP yet. It will become an IP once I add it here. And now I'll call it free IP 1.2. By the way, I could use 1005. It's not important. It's just for me to help everything look good for me. That's it. If I press apply again and apply, the software will change the alignment to go through this point. Here it is. See what happened? The road changed to go through, because it's an IP now, through this IP and move back here. You see what happened to the alignment. Sorry, to the design. We have a longer road, so it's not complete. We'll do it very soon. But this is what we did. Okay, I'm unhappy from here. I want to continue to this, to here. How do I do it? Yeah, what I'll do like this. Extend, and let's say this, and okay. I continue with a straight line to here. Okay. If I want to a straight line, or if I want a straight line, it's not an IP. You know what? Change it a bit. Okay. Let's say, okay. I want to move the curve to go to this point. So I want to move this IP. We already learned how to move an IP. Go to horizontal alignment. We press the move here. We catch the IP, say from this point to where we want to move it. Let's say I want to move it here. Let's press apply, and the alignment changed. Okay, fine. So this is my road, and let's enter a curve here. The curve here will be 50 meters. It's quite sharp, 100 meters. I don't know if it's too long. Let's see if it's overlap. No, no overlap. It's okay. 100 meters. Okay, this is it. Now to even open it more, 200 meters, 250. Let's see what will happen. Okay, I'm happy. This is my road. This is my road. But a lot have changed. Let's see what happened to the profile. If I go to roads, vertical alignment. Okay, first of all, automatically the software shows us the invert level of the right ditch. The right or the left? Right ditch. Okay, this is, you see here, right ditch, and this is the invert level. If I want it, I can leave it here. If I want to move it, I can just undo here. And that's it. Okay, let's deal with the side ditch later. Now, what's important for me is that alignment changed. So first of all, the existing ground level that we see now still reflects the former alignment, because this is what it has in the table. So I'll have to go into here to the lower left and tell the software, get T. The software will do it. And if I press apply, now I'll get the existing ground level of the new alignment. It's a little bit changed. I'm not sure you saw here, the change is minimum, probably here somewhere, it changed. So again, the alignment changed, but the topography is still from the former alignment. So I have to refresh it. How do I do it? I press the get T button here. It will override the existing ground level with the new, digitize the new alignment, and press OK. About the profile itself, I'm okay with this profile. The only thing that I want to continue, because now the road is longer. You see, the road, the former road ended at 960. But now I have longer. How much longer? 987. I can see it here. 987.42. See? This is the end of the road. So I have additional 17 meters here. What I'll do it very simple. I will do a polyline here. Extend. Okay. So I extended. I can remove this. The var edit up till here, and we press apply. Let's see. And the software automatically cut it at the end of the road. That's it. So now also the profile is okay. So I started with the horizontal alignment, I changed it. Then I went into the profile. First of all, I pressed the get T to get the new ground level at the new alignment. And then since I saw that the road now is longer, I had to continue the design. Now let's go to the cross sections. First of all, I will get the existing ground level, because again, the location of the cross section of at least some of them changed. So I had to reread the cross sections ground level, the existing ground level, according to the new alignment. Okay, in the beginning it's the same, but in the rest it will change. And I will tell the software interpolate, because we said what interpolate does. First of all, it fill in empty section, but also rebuild all the sections. So maybe some of the section now, like this one, you saw? This one, which had problem. So now the software have to rebuild according to the new existing ground level. Very simple. The next thing that I want to do, everything is okay. The only problem that I have now is that my last section end up, we know, at 960. And the last section is 987.42. You see the difference? Because again, we have additional 17 meters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stand on the land section and I'll tell the software, I'm changing this section. This would be 0 plus 975. How do I do it? Very simple. First of all, I changed its name, which will not do anything. But I also changed the running distance, the station. And this will completely change the location of the section. So this is only the name. The name can be AAA if you want, but this is what's important. The location, 75 meters. Okay, if I click on it, you see it's new because the former one deleted. I created a new one here. And I'm going to the next row and 0 plus 987.32. If I want to call it like this, I can just put it like this. Whatever I want, call it end. Whatever I want to call it. I will for my 32. But the more important is its location. Location is 987.42. Sorry, minor question, not plus, minus. And 0 plus. That's what I wanted to do. Like this. Okay, so I have two new sections. This is 950, which is okay. I have also 975, and I have 987.42. Two new sections, which I've just created. What I do, first of all, to the software, again, press this button. You see this button here. Get the existing ground level of all the sections, including the new section. So it will not do anything to the rest of the section, but this one will get a new. Okay. I send it 950, copy to the clipboard. I can go to the last one and do interpolation, or I can just go to 975, paste, press apply, 997, paste, press apply. That's it. Let's do the layout. Oh, okay. There's something that the system will soon look at. This is a report that the system did for me. Very soon I will look at. Just, that's it. Everything was rebuilt. By the way, what the software did tell me, and I did interpolation, it created this report. Okay, let's see, it's below. Where is the report? Somewhere here. No, anyhow. So this is what I did. But we have another thing. First of all, now it's 40 meters here and not 30. So the super elevation should change as well. And now there's a new curve here, which you can see from the contours, there's no super elevation at all. We didn't design it. So I'll press the super elevation again. Geometry station in super elevation table do not match the center line. Okay, the software found out that there's a new geometry, and automatically it says that everything is incorrect. So we have to press overwrite to recreate the geometry, which the software did. You see, so this is the geometry according to the new geometry of the road. Now this is 40 meters, and this is the transition. There's no transition. There's no transition curve here because it's a small thing. So how do I do it? If I press here and go by the same parameter, okay. Interesting. Okay, the software proposed something. For this, it's okay. But let's look what happened to this one. Okay, here, so let's see. For FreeIP1, it says you are starting here, the runoff at this station. Something, okay, 342. No, it doesn't make sense to me. It's a mistake. It's a mistake by the software. It's a mistake by the software. Because okay. The software suggested that we'll continue with this slope till the next, probably because they are very close. I'm not sure it's a mistake. To continue with the transition here all along. But for our case, I will do it separately. So again, let me go to the super elevation. Okay. And now alter the software like this. Here, you are starting the same. So here you are started at minus 2.5, minus 2.5. And we saw already we want to super elevate to, we're tending to the left. So left will go to minus 5.1 and right will go to 5.1. And the same go to minus 5, minus 5. And coming back to minus 2.5, minus 2.5. From here, so this is for the first IP. That's it. That's it. So this is for this transition. Okay, so this transition I've completed here. Now it's okay with the 40 meter. Now what's going on here? For now, there's no transition here. Okay, there is a small transition that the software did. Let's define the transition. Here, what I want to do, I want to create a new row. Told the software, you are starting 20 meters before the tangent. So you are starting at, the tangent is 852. I will start at 832, 20 meters below, before. And I end up 10 meters after. I've created a runoff 20 meters before the tangent because I don't have a spiral here. So I've created a super elevation, a runoff 20 meters. It's at 20 meters before the tangent and then up 10 meters after the tangent. Here it's minus 2.5. And let's say side slope at to the left. Yeah, it's like this. And the same goes here. Stand here, right click, insert row. And from here, minus 2.5, 2.5. And sorry, here I will enter start 10 meters before the tangent and end up 20 meters after. 967.70. And end up at minus 2.5, minus 2.5. Press OK. That's it. Here it is. This is the first transition, super elevation, going here. Here the straight line, the tangent is up straight, minus 2.5. And here, this is the tangent. 20 meters before the tangent, I started super elevating until 10 meters after the tangent. And going back here. Questions? Quite complicated, but worthwhile. Any questions? Rose, did I answer your question how to add an IP?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's okay?
It's okay now. Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's it. I finished my design. So let's summarize what we did. We created a side ditch. Sorry, we started designing a road with a transition curve. We created a side ditch and then create slope elevation. Then the software alert that the transition is too small, and Rose said that I'm unhappy with this road, change it to a new alignment. So I did two things. First of all, I increased the transition. Then I added another IP here. I added this IP. Then I went into vertical, completed the road, go to cross section, completed the road. That's it. Guys, 5 minutes break. And we continue from where we started, from where we ended. 5 minutes break. Then we talk about something that we call extract. So let's start with cross sections. The first question will be, the first issue will be about the cross section itself. When drawing the polyline for Sinter, is it 2D or 3D? 2D was the question. When I draw the polyline for the alignment, was it 2D or 3D? Standard 2D. Now, I want to show you something, to explain something. Each cross section here is a separate entity. It stands by itself. That means that we can deal separately with each cross section. Let's see what it's good for. Let's assume here, when I'm crossing here, I want to extend a little bit this and make the road here wider. In fact, let's do another thing. From station, 200 till station 750, from 200 to 750, I want the right lane to be wider. How do I do it? Roads, cross sections. I'm going to 200. And I'm going to the right lane. And the right lane, I'm going to the structure. And instead of 7.3 meter, I will change it to 9.3. And to ensure that I'm with the same slope, I'm going to the slope and you see it changed the slope. So let's change back to minus 2.5. This is what I did. I went into segment -1, the asphalt segment, and changed it from 7.3 to 9.3. When I did it, I also have to ensure that the slope changed, so I took it back to 2.5. And I press apply. Here it is, you see? Now it's 9.3 meter. But the problem is that I have not done the same for the subgrade. So I'm going to the subgrade, and we said additional 2 meter. So here I will change it again, 9.5 and minus 0.5. Let's see. Excellent. So What I've done, I took section 200 and make it, instead of 7.3 meter to the left, 9.3 meter. I took it 2 meter wider. By the way, if you look at the layout, it will look something like that. Let's go to 200. Let's see, 200 is here somewhere. And it will finish refreshing. I will zoom in. Okay. Where is it? Ah, change to the left, not to the right. This is the change which I did. It's my mistake. Let's go again to 200. Structure. This is 7.3 minus 2.5. And this is 9.5. Minus 2.5. Okay, now, sorry, minus 2.5. And my mistake, I wanted to change the right lane. Right lane, no. No, it's correct. Ah, okay, the right lane, yes, outside. The lane on the right, let's see. Yeah, the right lane. So 9.3 at minus 2.5 and 9.3 at minus 2.5. Okay, right lane. This one, right? And if I want to create the layout, 200 is here. It will narrow down this and supposed to widen this one. Yeah, okay, you can see from here, see? It went wider. See, from here to here, it went wider. Ignore the break line, there's a break line here. Let's give it, I don't know. That can be nice. Yes. Okay, good. So, okay, so from here, which is 7.3, now the width here is 9.3. But here it goes back to 7.3 because I changed only this section. So what I'm gonna do, I stand on this section, and the very different ways how to do it, because what I want to do now is to project the change which I did from 200 until 750, until here. I can delete the sections and then fill it up, but there's a faster way. I'm standing at 200 and standing on the segment which I changed. I changed this segment, right? I stand on it, click, left click, so I will stand inside, and then right click in the mouse. It says send to. Now tell them send, in fact, not this one, the entire segment, not this row. So if I want to the entire segment, I stand on the, you know what I can do with this one. Again, send to, right, which section? From 200 until shift 750. And the slope as well, right? So send the slope again from 200 750. Good, but I also did it here. No, not left. Again, my mistake. Right, the same thing. Send to 200 to shift 750. This one. Send to from 200 750, and the same here on the design, on the subgrade. Good. Let's see their effect. And now I will rebuild, interpolate. Now all the section from 200 supposed to be wider. 200. This is 9.3. Let's go to the next one. 9.3. You see, all the sections have been rebuilt with the new width. If I put it on the here it is from here like this, yeah. But see what happened. Because what I did, I also override the super elevation. So what I need to do is go back and tell the software again, super elevation, affect it again. That's it. And let's see the layout. Excellent. So now what I've done, from here, I've widened my road from right lane from 7.3 to 9.3 and change it back at 750. 750 is here, see? From here, it's going back. From here, going back to here, 9.3 to 7. Any questions? Any questions? So this is the first thing. First thing we learned is that each section has its own, it's an entity. You can change it, you can do whatever you want with it. More questions? More questions about what you just saw? None. No questions. Okay, good. The second thing that I want to show is a trick. You see here, you remember when I started design, there was existing path, which was on break line there. I want to mark on this, you know, it starts here and then here. I want to mark this break line on the cross sections. I want to show this, not this one, maybe this one. No, but this is it's perpendicular, we'll not see anything. Okay. So what I'm trying to do now is to present on the cross section this and this, which is the existing pathway, just to show it, visualization. So in construction, it will be identified. So what I'll do, since break line, it's a big layer with many, many things which I don't want to see. I only want to see these lines. I will create a new layer. And I'll create it, I will call it existing path. And I will make it, again, yellow is something that we can see easily, yellow. For now, I'm working with AutoCAD. And I will take this and this. This is the path that I want to see. Maybe this one as well. And continue this one, this one. These are the things that I want to see on my, up till here. Want to see on my cross sections. And I will change them. This I'm doing in AutoCAD. For now, I'm just working with AutoCAD. And instead of layer break line, I would call them existing path. I isolate them. Good. So what we saw, okay, this is the existing path, right? See the yellow. And I want to project them on the cross sections here. How do I do it? I go to roads, cross sections. And and I'm looking at something that called reference. I'm clicking it here. He asked me which layer do you want to show. I can either select it or select like this. Select this. This is the layer, existing path. I could also scroll and find it. And I press OK. See what happened. Filtering was finished successfully. If you want to return, press OK. And let's see. See what happened? It projected this layer as a reference to the SOC section. So this is section 50. What we see on section 50 is this and this, which is the existing path. You can see it here. Also on 75, it's on the right side. 100, it's here. 25 here. 50. That's it. Any questions? Any question about the reference? Guys, any question about the reference? By the way, with data which was extracted, if you flip to reference here, you'll see it. No questions? Anyone? Right, to speak up. Sure. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Now, I'm going to use something else. Okay, someone asked me a question. Please, can you repeat this reference procedure again? Okay. Reference is being used when we want to take something from that exists in our exist in the field, and we want to project it on the cross sections. In this case, I used it to take this existing path and project it on the cross section. How did I do it? I went into cross sections and I create reference. You see, this is existing. Now I will do something else. Let's take another scenario. Not here, let's go here. Let's assume there's a water pipeline that goes somewhere here. So let me create water pipe. Oh, you know, electricity line. Electricity line, LA. I'll make it yellow so you can see it well. Make it right. Okay. I know that there's an electricity line that goes, sorry, from here. Okay. I got it from my client, from the surveyor. Okay. This is the electricity line. For now, I only have it in 2D. If it was in 3D, it was better, but it's only 2D polyline. This is what I have. This is the data. I'm going to the cross sections. Now for us, it's in the last sections. It's around here. Section 950. So we have to look at something where here. It's not so important because the software will cut all along, but it should appear somewhere here. So how do I do it? I'm pressing the reference, this button. And the software asked me which layer your reference at. Now, if, for example, it can be that there are many electricity lines, so all of them will be cut. It's not just a certain specific one polyline. It can be many. So electricity, I can go into the list or I can select and it will find it automatically. But if I go in the list, click here, LA, and that's it, and press OK. Successful. If I'll go now to, you see what happened? This is the electricity line. This is the electricity line. It's from the center, 5.3 meters to the left. It says this is the, here it's 10 to the right. So the software took, for example, section 875. And translate this point in the intersection between the cross section and the line and convert it into a graphic display here on the left. By the way, this data, the translation is 5.3 meters to the left here. The data is shown here. Here it is, electricity. Electricity. Now, since it's a 2D, the software could not do anything. It just the offset. But if I know, for example, that this is a pipeline that lies 1.5 meters below the ground, or let's say 3 meters below the ground, I can just put here and put 3 meters. And I also know that the diameter in centimeter is 10 cm. If I press apply, see what happened? This is 30 cm. This is the data. And the software knows how to bury it 3 meters in the ground. And this is the invert level. Sorry? Sorry? Okay. But of course, it was only done here. What about the rest? Because I changed only specific. So how do I do it? I'm using the same trick that I used before. I'm standing on the depth, left click, right click, send to. Current cell, yes. If I send to all, I think it will work automatically. Yeah. You see, I sent to all, but the software was smart enough to know. The software was smart enough to know that when it finds reference with the LN name, this is where it sticks the 3 meters. So I'll do the same to the 10 cm. And all. So the software, when I send all, went to the section. When it found LA, it put the diameter inside. So you see, now we have the pipeline all along. So this is another usage of reference. Reference, again, I use it for two things. Here I used it to show an underground infrastructures that cross my section. Sorry. And here I've used it to show an existing path. This one, existing path. Where exactly is the location of the existing path and the cross section in reference to the path. How this explain the reference? I think it's too much information, so I think I'll stop here. I will do the extract maybe quickly at the beginning of next lesson. Next lesson is mainly about pipelines, underground infrastructure. But we will start maybe with extract. I will do it very quickly. And we'll go to underground infrastructure. how to design water supply, sewage, drainage, and so on. Questions, guys? Before we wrap up. Yeah, there was a question here. Do we have discussion about road intersections? Not in this training, and in fact, I have to be honest with you. I have to, you talk about junction, how to arrange junctions like this junction, for example. Assuming that. There is a model for it here, we call it junction definition, but at 75 to 80% of the situation, it will not give you a good results. Maybe in this one it will, because it's a T-junction, very simple, but in 80% it will not. So unfortunately, until we solve it, what you have to do is to design the intersection manually, meaning go by the section and do the change in the slopes in the intersection by yourself from here, from the cross sections. Go to the cross section that goes into the intersection and design it. So until you have these contours and these contours, it goes the same. Sorry, but this is the only solution I can offer today. And in anyhow, I didn't plan to discuss about it, but yeah. Other questions, please. Other questions? Other questions, guys? No. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day. Don't forget, next week, last lesson, Thursday, same time.